Good morning and welcome to the Development Services Department's hearing for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. My name is Antoinette Gibbs and I'm the hearing officer with Development Services. Joining us today is Deputy City Attorney Noah Brazier and Ian Hecox, representing Development Services Department Project Management Division. Mr. Hecox, can you provide us with a procedural announcement?
Good morning. Until further notice, hearing officer meetings will be conducted pursuant to the provisions of California Government Code Section 54953A, as amended by Assembly Bill 2249, which allows the public to participate in person as well as a hybrid format. The hearing officer meeting will be participating in person and the meeting will be open for in-person testimony. If you are in person, please make sure you complete a speaker slip if you wish to speak. In-person testimony will be concluded before virtual testimony begins. In lieu of in-person attendance, members of the public may participate and provide comment via telephone, Zoom, using the hearing officer web form, or via U.S. mail of written materials to the hearing officer, as noted on the web page. The public may view the hearing officer meeting at the scheduled date and time on the City of San Diego's YouTube website, City of San Diego Public Hearings. Members of the public can offer public comment on a non-agenda or an agenda item by joining the webinar by using a desktop computer, laptop, tablet, or smartphone by accessing the link which is listed online in the preamble language of the agenda, which is on the hearing officer webpage, or by calling 1-669-254-5252 with webinar ID number 161-310-2034. This information is also on the agenda and will appear on the screen during the public comment period for each item. Please note that if you're watching online, there may be a 30-second delay. Please participate via audio on your phone and mute your TV or computer when it is your turn to speak. When the hearing officer introduces the item you would like to comment on, please raise your hand by either tapping the raise your hand button on your computer, tablet, or smartphone, or by dialing *9 on your phone. You will be taken in the order in which you raise your hand. You may only speak once on a particular item. When the hearing officer indicates it is your turn to speak, please click the unmute prompt that will appear on your computer, tablet, or smartphone, or dial *6 on your phone. Please note, those participating virtually may not cede time to others participating in person or virtually. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hecox. This morning, I will be considering applications for development permits that the San Diego Municipal Code identifies for resolution by a hearing officer in accordance with the Decision Process 3 as referenced in Section 112-0501 of the Land Development Code. The decisions made on projects today may be appealed to the Planning Commission. The appeals must be filed by the close of business within 10 business days of today's date. This means that an appeal must be filed by the close of business on Wednesday, October 29, 2025. The appeal must be filed on the proper forms located on the Development Services website. Additionally, the certification of the environmental documents may be appealed to the City Council. The appeal must also be filed within 10 business days of today's date. The appeal must be filed on the proper forms located on the City Clerk's website. All approvals will become effective 10 business days from today's date as long as no appeals are filed. However, no building permits may be obtained until the permits and resolutions are signed, notarized, and returned to the Development Services Department for recordation with the County Recorder. Prior to today's hearing, I have reviewed all staff reports, environmental documents, draft findings and conditions, and all written correspondences, and I am familiar with each. Well, I'm familiar with the site today. Just a general reminder for those joining us remotely, please mute your mics until you're called upon to speak. And for those in attendance, please fill out a speaker slip if you would like to speak on an item on today's agenda. So first, I'll open it up to public comment. Is there anyone who would like to speak on an issue within the jurisdiction of the hearing officer that is not related to one of the projects on today's docket? Anyone online, please raise your hand. Seeing none, I will move on to requests for continuances or withdrawals. Are there any requests for continuances or withdrawals? Hearing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. So the consent agenda are projects that have no speaker slips in opposition and no questions from the hearing officer. So we have one item on today's agenda. I have no speaker slips in opposition. I don't have any questions. PRJ number 1074569, project name 8283 Prestwick Drive, conditional use permit number PMT 3190142, site development permit number PMT 3190143, and public utility easement vacation number PMT 333357. The project manager is Travis Cleveland. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor or against putting this item on consent? Mr. Cleveland, is there any reason this item cannot be placed on the consent agenda?
No, ma'am, there's not, but I do have a memorandum I'd like to read for the record. This memo clarifies two items related to the project. The first is that the project plans were not initially attached to the copy of the staff report that was uploaded to the hearing officer webpage. Staff corrected the issue as soon as we were made aware on October 14th by uploading the plans to the webpage as a separate link. The second item is that there is a slight rewording of permit condition number 30 in the draft permit. I have it in the memo and struck out underline, but I will just read the revised condition. Prior to the issuance of any construction permits, the owner permittee shall execute and record a covenant of easement in favor of the city of San Diego across the cross-hatched area of Diegan coastal sage scrub shown across the eastern portion of the site on page P1 of Exhibit A, which ensures preservation of the environmentally sensitive lands that are outside the allowable development area on the premises for sensitive biological resources outside the MHPA and steep hillsides, in accordance with San Diego Municipal Code Section 143.0152. The covenant of easement shall include a legal description and an illustration of the premises showing the development area and the environmentally sensitive lands that will be preserved as shown on page P1 of Exhibit A. This reservation clarifies the area intended to be preserved, which is not labeled as a future conservation easement on the plans. Thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that condition. Well, I have no questions, so pursuant to section 15302, replacement and reconstruction of the California Environmental Quality Act, the project is categorically exempt from an environmental review, and I do recognize that exemption. The project is not pending an appeal of the environmental determination. That determination was made on March 25th, 2025, and the opportunity to appeal ended on April 9th, 2025. I can make all the findings necessary to approve coastal development permit number or PMT number 3190142, site development permit number PMT 3190143, and public utility easement vacation number PMT 3333357, subject to the conditions contained in the staff report. This decision is final unless appealed to the Planning Commission. This concludes today's hearing. Thank you all for your participation and input.